Hey, Crystal Gems. I have a review of Steven Universe Too Cool for School. This is the original graphic novel. Came out a couple weeks ago, and it is by Ian Jones Quartley, who is actually one of the producers of the show. He wrote the story. The script is by Jeremy Sagoski, who was the writer of the original Steven Universe comic. And it is illustrated by Asia Kendrick Horton with Rachel Dukes. And I believe Rachel Dukes, she assisted. Also, there's a backup story in this called Yard Sale, and that's written by Jocelyn Fenton. And what's going on with this one? It is essentially like a pretty big episode, actually. And because one of the producers wrote the story, it definitely... Out of all the Steven Universe comics that have come out so far, this is definitely the one with the most feel of that. And it essentially is about Steven following Connie to school. Because, he's tired of her always doing this and him not doing it. So they come up with this idea of her just taking him to show and tell, which is kind of unusual because he's like a person and everything. But quickly, Connie's slightly embarrassed over the idea. She realized that this may not have been a good idea. And also, Steven's powers activate while they're there when the other kids are kind of jerks to Steven. This is really interesting. This is the first time we see Steven interact with so many kids at a setting like a public school. And yeah, they're kind of dicks to him, and you get to see his reaction to that. And that's one of the things I like about this particular book is you get to take Steven and the Crystal Gems out of their usual setting and put them in a little more human setting. I mean, I know that's definitely what the show does for the most part, but it does it on a level that they're comfortable with and not so much uncomfortable with, and that's what this does. It takes Steven, puts him in public school, and we also have an adventure with them trying to fight this gem monster that is kind of this snail creature that collects garbage and crap and all sorts of stuff to use as its shell. They think they take it out, but they actually do not. Steven takes a piece of it on not realizing that it was just simply regenerating. And it regenerates right in the school, causing this huge mess and fight. Not only do the gems come and save the day at the end, but the kids fight. And they're actually led by Connie, who is kind of this wallflower. She eats by herself in the library. We get to see how, she has no friends at school, and this is her daily life. So it's quite a moment for her, because this takes place kind of in continuity, so we've had her go through all these adventures with Steven and the Crystal Gems. So that's reflected in how she behaves once a gem monster shows up, and she definitely takes charge. And then, of course, the Crystal Gems show up themselves, pretty much impressing... let's see, do we have that shot here? Pretty much impressing, the kids here. Because this is the first time they get to see the Crystal Gems themselves. And let's see, the school is destroyed, by the way. Well, at least the gym is, for the most part. One of the funniest things is the principal has a huge argument with several of the walls torn down. Also, we get to see that it's actually plainly stated. It's been suggested over and over again that Steven is homeschooled. This actually says it word for word that he has been homeschooled. I assume by Greg and Pearl have done probably the biggest heavy lifting with teaching him. And I don't think I've ever seen a superhero comic promote the value of homeschooling and how it, when done properly, can be a good effect on a child. Because Steven aces his courses. He's only in school for a week and he aces his course. It's an adorable story. The backup is fairly enjoyable. It's simply called Yard Sale, where Steven and the Crystal Gems go to Vidalia's yard sale. And one of the cutest things is Garnet actually finds a Mom Squad jacket, and just, this is going to be mine. The problem is they don't really have enough to pay for all the stuff they want, so they have to kind of make a deal. It's a really cute short story and a lot of fun. If I had any mild criticism, at some places the art, particularly with the snail action scenes, get a little weaker in the art department than some other pages. And I don't know if this story is justified for a $15 purchase. It's a pretty big purchase, but definitely I would recommend this to anybody who's a Steven Universe fan. If you're interested in Steven Universe, and you don't mind forking over 15, this is a pretty good explanation of what the show and the characters are like. Probably the crystal gem that gets the most love out of this story is Pearl. She is fantastic in this. She has some funny lines, and her meeting and discussion with the principal is absolutely terrific. She actually has my favorite line in the story, because Steven, as they're on this mission, is talking about how cool school has been, how neat it is, and he loves dodgeball and talks about dodgeball. Keeps telling him, and Pearl has this line. That's nice, Steven. I'm glad you enjoy pummeling children your own age. Oh, great. This is good stuff. I'm going to give this 4 Ram Chips out of 5, and it's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, Steven Universe fans would definitely dig this one a lot. It's worth seeking out. If you're curious about it and you want to dig some Steven Universe comics up, I would recommend the current miniseries is very good if you're looking for something cheaper, but if you're willing to buy it for $15, you could do worse, I think. And I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.